Hey guys, welcome to our very exciting Arch Linux install video. Now on the virtual box, I tried to do a side-by-side dual boot install, but I couldn't get that working. So this scenario is just pretending you've got a dedicated Linux box and it's going to wipe everything on the hard drive. Be aware of that. If you do want to keep a Windows install, then physically unplug it from your computer or remove it. I always like to remove things just in case, especially when I'm learning new install techniques. Nothing more annoying than overriding your Windows partition, especially if you want to keep it. Okay, that being said, let's get into it. Powering up VM, cool. F12, I want to boot off CD-ROM. It's so cute, it thinks it's the CD. Alright. TPM error, we don't need that shit, it's fine. Where we're going, TPM won't save you. Though you can use TPM on modern Linux if you read the books and understand what you're doing. And you can secure the absolute hell out of Linux. Baby steps, we're still just learning how to install the thing. Normally on a non-virtual machine, it does boot a lot quicker, so don't worry about this. Okay, now when you see that, we're ready to install. First thing you want to make a note of, this word here, Arch install, all one word, all lowercase. Please jot that down, Arch install. Enter. Oh, by the way, you can install it if you only have Wi-Fi, but it's a little bit more involved, so I might visit that later. If any of you want to know about it, please comment and let me know. There's a cool little command line Wi-Fi joiny thing, and it lets you join Wi-Fi just like you can in Windows. It's pretty neat. Okay, this is the main install menu. So we're going to keep the language in English. Locales, just leave them as they are. Mirrors, enter. Select regions, enter. Let this walk to the regions. These are just all the Arch Linux repositories around the world. Now we're going to choose the nearest one, which is Australia for us. You can choose a different country, whatever's closer to you. Alright, this configuration, enter. Partitioning, use best effort, that's the easiest. Press space to select the hard drive that you want to nuke. Just be aware that this will destroy everything on our 80 gig partition. It's previewing on the middle of the screen what is going to be erased. Okay, now we go enter. I want to choose BRFS, or these two are pretty good. I like BRFS myself, it's really good for little files. Yeah, default structure. Now we can press escape because we're not going to use compression. And arrow down and enter on back. Now swap. Do you want to use swap on ZRAM? Yeah, sure, we'll use a swap. I guess the default compression for swap is fine. Grub bootloader is old school, but it works fine. Back. Kernels, just leave it as Linux. Host name, choose something cool. I said cool. All right, choose a nice word. This is the name of your computer. All right, you know what? Yeah, it's really cool. Fabian's test computer. Okay, authentication. This is important. This is like users and stuff. So enter root password. You're going to need one of these. And user account. Name. Do not make this the same as root. It is important to keep these different. Oh my, and yeah, make them sudo. It makes things handy. commands just work better. This is called fabzor tech tips. I called it Fabian. I'm going to call it fabzor. Fabor. Fabzor. Yes, make him sudo. All right, we're good. Confirm and exit. Enter. Back. Enter. Profile. This is very important. Pay attention, y'all. Type. Enter. We can choose desktop. Enter. We're going to go down. I encourage you to check out all these other ones. They've all got their strengths and weaknesses. My personal favorite is X-Phase4. So for this demo, we're going to just space on X-Phase4 and enter. So at this point, you can choose whatever you want. That's fine, I don't mind. Now, enter. Graphics driver, this is really cool. If you've got NVIDIA goodness or ATI goodness, you can get this working before you even start. And if you fuck it up, you can always get into your recovery environment and fix your driver or delete your xorg.conf if you're feeling adventurous. Because this is virtual machine, I'm just going to go all open source, but NVIDIA's cool. AMD is cool. I'm going to go open source. Light DM because I chose X-Phase4 environment. I want to use the Light DM greeter. So if you chose a different environment and it lets you choose Light DM, use it too. It's a nice, light, quick desktop manager greeter. It's just a thing that lets you type in your username and password. Now back, enter. Profile is done. Go to applications. Yeah. Love Bluetooth. Do you want audio? Yeah, I'll use Pipewire, enter. Don't need print service, don't need firewall, back. Network configuration. Your network's working now, so I want to take the network configuration from this environment, the install environment, and use it for my desktop. So that's what the top option is. Additional packages, don't worry about this, you can always do it later. Time zone, I just leave it as UTC, it seems to work. NTP, you want this on, it gets the time from the internet. If you want to do this again on 50 other computers, you can save this configuration to a text file. Very cool. Thank you, Linux. We're not going to do this. We're just going to go down to install and enter. And by the way, if you did go save configuration, then all this good stuff down here, these settings that you just chose are saved in a text configuration, which is really nifty. Anyways, it's just saying it's going to install with these settings. Good, we want that. Enter on yes. Now it's just saying we're going to pull the trigger, sit back and relax. There we go, that little easy to use menu gave you all the, well, most of the power of Gen 2 Linux, but without needing a doctorate in rocket science. Gen 2 is great, and if you really want to get into the nuts and bolts of how it works, then you know, once you've cut your teeth in Arch, maybe get into Gen 2 if you're bored and you really want to get into the action. It'll teach you a lot about how Linux works. I mean, shit, it'll teach you how Windows and Mac work as well. It'll just teach you how computers work. So even if you don't intend to use Linux, you know, for real life, you should do it as a learning point. Really cool to see how things work. Now, you'll notice it's a bit different to Windows Update. It's just absolutely thrashing the piss out of my internet connection. And honestly, that's what I want. I just want it to rip as hard as possible just to get through all those packages and give me an operating system as soon as possible. I don't know if this is X-Phase yet. This is just the base system. And it'll probably do X-Phase at a later stage. But it will keep you nice and posted. And, you know, that's what your Linux users are more after, just that control. The customizability. Even in a shitty virtual environment, it's still real quick. Honestly, you should see this on bare metal. It's fire. It's great. Also, check out load times. Like, don't get me wrong, Linux isn't a magical fairyland where everything's just fast. It's just, you can really choose what not to load and what to load and really customize it for your use. Okay, now we're compiling kernel version 7. See here. Running introot. Okay, we're configuring the kernel. Linux works a little bit like, the kernel architecture is very different from Windows. Windows runs microkernel architecture with like modules that then talk to the kernel, whereas Linux is a bit more Mac-y, I guess. It more has a big fat monolithic kernel or a little monolithic kernel, and you have to like customize all the drivers you want to talk to the kernel. So this is why Linux, you say these big compile times, but when it's up, it's quick, man. It's fire. So yeah, with Linux, you have a bigger kernel. You have a lot less crap running around in the background. It's a very different design. Not saying it's any better, it's just different. Another thing, whilst Windows supports, I don't know, 3, 5 different kinds of file system, Linux supports about 85 to 87 different kinds of file systems. That's if you install the support for the file systems like Fuse and stuff like that. With a Linux machine, you can mount a Mac hard drive, and it's really cool for disk forensics. But yeah, it's a bit tricky to use, so don't hate it. It's more for the techie, sciencey kind of person that really wants to get into the nuts and bolts of how things work. If you're willing to put in the hours, you'll get a quick system. You will. All right, so GTK, policy kit, gnomes, themes. Oh yeah, look at that. We are also installing Xphase 4, GTK. Sick. Okay, we're ready to go, my man. Or my lady, whoever's watching. We're gonna reboot now. Okay, boom, restarting. Got a funny little Windows mouse. Now, boot existing OS, because we're still booting off the CD here. Now, this is the actual thing we just installed. This is the boot menu, similar to Windows. Really similar to Windows, but you get it in Linux. It's really cool if you install a dodgy kernel and you want to go back to the old one. That little manual will save your ass. All right, it's up and running. Give it a sec. We're running things for the first time, and we have a fully fledged desktop operating system. Isn't that nice? Don't you feel warm and fuzzy now? This is pretty cool. I love that little rat. X-Face is the bomb. Look at this. Hold down Alt, click and drag. It's really easy to drag stuff around. The resolution's nasty, but that's okay. We do plan on doing this in bare metal in the future, so I can really show you. If you do want to configure that, you can. That's all right. 1920 by 1080. Fly. Okay. Can we do 100? No. All right, that's okay. Yeah, pretty good now. I don't know about this whole dark thing. I think I want a white panel. No. Yeah, light. No! Light! Please. Fucking hell, this is like, alright, I don't want to take that one away. Panel preferences, up here, okay. I want to customize my wallpaper just a bit, why not? Yeah, that rat's pretty neat. Anyway, oh god, that's nasty. Alright. I'll go with the rat. It's alright. For now, I will change it later. Go. You make it like big or something. Oh, whatever. This is cool. Now, if we try and load a web browser, I don't really do that. We're going to need a web browser to get us on our feet. So, even though I want to install Brave, we're going to have to go to Firefox first, and I'll show you how to do that. On Linux, Ubuntu, you might go sudo apt get install. That ain't going to work here. What you do is you do a really similar thing, but you go sudo pacman-syu. This is just like apt get update. SYU is update. Take my word for it. Enter. Sudo password. Alright, we've got our update. Now sudo pacman s firefox. Just enter for defaults. Yes. Bing bang bong. I'm just going to run a quick check. This is pretty slow because it's on a VM. This is slow, by the way. Now we're installing Firefox. Okay, we're now at Firefox. Let me show that to you. If I go here, web browser. Oh, we got Firefox. All right. How to install Brave browser Arch Linux. Yeah, AI boy. If you don't have Yay, well, at it. Yay is a really cool tool. Now, I don't much care for Snap or some of the other package managers, but I do like Yay. I don't know why, but I do. I think it's because I started using Yurt back in the day of Arch, and Yay is just kind of the evolution of Yurt. So I prefer this type method, so I'm going to go sudo pacman-s. Now, all good things happen in terminals, guys, so we need one of those. Oh, by the way, so this is Control-C, but to paste into here is Control-Shift-V. Just be aware of that, and sudo password. Yeah. Oh, cool. Now this is easy, but this is proper effing computing. Like, ECC, you're compiling your own stuff. This is what you want to be doing. Git clone. So now, what directory am I in? I'm in my home directory. So now Control-Shift-V, git clone. So use the program git clone this address to my current directory. Okay, enter. So it's cloned into yay-git. What does that mean? So it's made this folder and it's got this package build inside it. This package build is kind of like a cookbook that will help us build the Brave browser. No, I lie. It will help us build Yay. Yay is another tool that will help us build the Brave browser. Alright. cd yay git package dash sri. Enter. So it's building Yay now. Let's wait for it to build Yay. If you want, you could add a really cool little like processor monitor, CPU monitor, system load monitor. I like this one. And so it's the CPU swap kind of things. All right, cool. Right. Yeah, we want to install Yay. Now, there are other Linux distros where all this is just done for you, and there are definitely easier ways of doing this, but I'm kind of trying to teach a man to fish, if you will, or a lady to fish. And I hate fishing. Just the killing fish and looking into their little eyes and like slitting their throat. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I like fish. I want them to be alive. I'm a hypocrite because I eat fish, but I just don't like it. Wouldn't be good at hunting either. So to teach a man or a lady how to fish, I really want to show you how to compile stuff from source. And this was, I mean, the idea is to give you freedom. The reality is it is actually kind of tricky, but it will get you into debugging, and that should empower you later on down the track if you really ever get into a jam and you need to compile your way out of it. It's not that learning how to compile makes you better, it's more that learning how to debug when you do compile makes you better. A bit of a long burn, but trust me, it's worth it. And it is a lot of fun. It's a fun puzzle. Yeah, sure. Clean up after. So it's made the Yay package manager and it's just cleaning up after it itself. So yes, I want to remove the leftovers. Okay. Yep. And we've got Yay. So now we're nearly done. This is using the Yay package manager to search for the Brave binary package. Cool. Has it found it? Yeah, it's found one. Package to clean build. All, I guess. A. Capital A. Yeah. I haven't got less. Less comes in build tools. Come on. Yeah, I think this is the Brave web browser now. So it's downloaded. Binaries are pretty quick to download because there's not a lot of moving parts. It's just one big fat blob. Okay. Got it. Now let's hope it's got all its dependencies. Courses are ready. I can't wait to install Arch. I want to install it as my daily drive. Play Minecraft, Quake 2, that's all you need. Yeah, you're not going to be playing the latest, greatest games on Arch Linux, but you're going to be having a cracking good time just getting around the system and doing stuff. That's more the game. Yep. Yes, we want to install Brave, all 400 megs of it. All right, I think we're done. Let's try our new Brave browser. Oh, we got the Brave. We had a bit of fun compiling, so I think that's a pretty successful video. Thank you for watching.